YouTube channel with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. What's going on there? We've got a blockage. That's better. Beautiful Gosford. It's lovely, isn't it? Just want to say to you, women want to be independent today. They just need to have an exclusive relationship with a man that they can come and go to by arrangement and see as it suits them. But that doesn't mean that's the way to go. That doesn't mean it's a healthy thing to do, and 9 times out of 10 it's probably not. You're just working to either their convenience or some kind of arrangement that works out for both of you, which I can't see anything too wrong with that. Women today, they really don't want to commit beyond the ability to be able to come and go as less conveniently as possible. They've been taught to be too independent. They've been taught to be able to do whatever they want. And as time's gone on, they've forgotten what it takes to keep a man interested. And it takes a whole lot more on titty and pussy. A whole lot more. And a lot of these women today pride themselves on that. And it's just not enough. It's just, for anybody with some common sense and wisdom, that's definitely way not enough. There's a place for that, but it's not the be all and end all. Unfortunately, today a lot of women don't want to emotionally exchange with men. They want to sexually exchange with men, but they don't want to emotionally exchange with men on a deeper level. And that's because they're emotionally attached to other things. They're emotionally enmeshed to other things that are more important to them, which might be their children, it could be their pets, it could be habits that they've got. I've had girls that have just wanted to get home and told me they're not interested in their drink and stuff or drugs or whatever, and couldn't wait to get home to have their fix. Didn't care what you were going to do or where you were at or anything like that. And that's why one of my big messages today is don't attach to these women. Be a good man, give them a great time, be the best that you can, keep an eye on yourself and test yourself to see if your performance is right. But there's no point in attaching, because they're in micro incremental ways, they're continually going to let you down, and they're not going to be aware. They're not going to be aware that they're letting you down because they're not interested enough. They haven't got the value to worry about that. Their values are spread all over the place. And for a lot of women, they think if they just turn up in a dignified way, pump and dump, you don't hear anything of them in between their next visit. They just turn up like clockwork. I've had this for years and years now. I've watched this for years and years now. They try and condition you to the minimal amount of effort that can be put in a way in which it just keeps you going along. And they cross their fingers and hope that you're not going to spit the dummy or ask for more. Because as a matter of fact, they don't want to give more. And that's just the way it is today, and you can't be upset about that. But I would warn you, don't attach. See, we don't hold our heart close enough to our chest. We think because somebody's intimate and passionate, that they've got our best interests at heart. Women aren't like that, guys. Women are no different to a lion killing a zebra. I know that sounds cold, but for the ones that I've met, that's why they're on their own. They only want to get what they can for themselves. And if that means jeopardizing the relationship to do it, they will, and they have, and they will. Because at the end of the day, they're interested in what they need, not what you need, and you can't blame them. Most of the women that I've had, the men that have gone before me, haven't lived up to the expectations that a man should, and of course they're culturalized to think all men are like that, and then the next thing you know, you're with them, and subconsciously that's their expectation, that you're going to let them down, and they push you and push you and push you to the point where you actually do let them down, because you can't tolerate their perception of who you are and how you are. They're missing the journey of it. They're not experiencing the possibilities. They're just living out of the past and the failures and letdowns, only to produce another failure and letdown, because that's what their projection was. That's what their experience was. They didn't have to resolve anything, possibly because the person wasn't interested and didn't care if they stayed or went. Or maybe there was drugs involved and the person was on drugs, all that other stuff, and it didn't matter. So nobody had to resolve anything. It was just to the drink or get to the drugs, and everyone will be happy. The need to resolve things that were aggravations didn't exist. And then when they meet somebody that's straight and wants to work through things and fix things and have a strong long-term relationship, they don't know what that is. They don't know how that works, because they're used to fixing things with drugs and alcohol and medication and these other things. So I'll try at the start, but you'll soon see after the third, oh, can you do this or can you not do that, that you're with somebody that's gotten away with not having to resolve anything in their past relationship. And that's really hard. And that really puts you in a position of I just want this person to turn up for as long as they can, or for as long as they're willing to, based on my performance, until they give in. Or do I want to try and form something with this person that's going to last longer than usual? Well, that's going to be hard to do if they've been with somebody that's been dysfunctional and not willing to resolve stuff, just turn to the bottle or turn to the drugs and turn to the medication and dodge the resolve. I always say, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, single mothers are not on their own. They've got their children to fall back on, and for the most part they don't necessarily need a man. They've trained themselves to use their toys that they keep in the drawer and all that, and I say that with dignity. I mean, for some people it's a lot easier that way. There's just no hassle that comes with that. They can love the dog or the kids and see to themselves in the bedroom without any drama. And that doesn't make sense to me, but that's what a lot of people do now. They haven't got the character to be able to take on what it needs to take from you to truly be in a valuable relationship. The last relationship I had, for the first 12 months we were running great. She was coming here, I was going there, and then the children got involved. Adult children, mummy's boys, and the whole thing just went to shit from there, and she couldn't have cared less. As long as her little boys were all right. And they're grown men, that's what I couldn't understand. And I gave her every opportunity to fix that. She reckons it was something I had to fix. I can't fix 2 decades of people that have been involved in anything but to turn to drugs and alcohol. The problem they had with me was I don't sweep shit under the carpet, and I knew exactly what happened, why it happened, and it was not my fault, and it was never going to be my fault. And it cost a relationship because she said, why didn't I fix it? and it wasn't something that I could fix. It wasn't my job or my place to try and fix dysfunction. I didn't want to fix it. And to cut a long story short, it went on for so long that by the end of it, I said that there is no resolve, because I don't really want to have resolve with those people anymore, because of the plain fact that it was rude and disrespectful to make up stuff like, you're happy, or you're encouraged, you're going along with somebody committing suicide. What sort of nonsense and manipulative villainization is that? So it cost her. I knew not to attach. I just thought I'll give it time to work out whether I'm going to be valuable to her or not. She had a lot of faults herself, more than what I fucking had, I can tell you that. But I was prepared to give it a go. But had I attached, right, while I performed and went about my business as a man, had I attached, I would have been totally fucking annihilated by that woman, because I knew without resolve, the best result that could come of it was each one go their own way. She'll go back to a hidey hole with her sons, adult sons, and I'll just get on with how I was before she come along, which was a lot better anyway, a lot healthier. And it's a shame, and it's not what the idea of it was, but you can only put so much time into somebody before you realise it's a dead end. And that's superpower. If you are man enough to go, this person is just not playing cricket, it's just not the way it should be, they're not really showing the value that they need to, or the reciprocation for the relationship to last. The greatest power that a man can have is the power to be able to walk away. And you're doing that person a favour. You're giving that person the truth of how you feel, where they've driven you to, and the opportunity to take stock of themselves and to wonder how that happened. Now, whether they do that or not's up to them. If they don't do that, whose loss is that? Yours or theirs? Not yours. If you've progressively tried to bring resolve on the journey of the relationship, and that hasn't happened, not by way of your own fault, then really the only way you can help that person to possibly pause and stop and think and go, well, what went wrong, is to walk away. Show your absence. Let them feel what it's like not to have you around, not to feel that power anymore. That's superpower. That's, more often than not, exactly what somebody needs. That's the walking away. It can teach people that would otherwise not know any other way what they need to know, not by willy-nillying around, not by mucking around, but getting to the point, and if there's no resolve, walking away. There's no other way a person can stop and think rationally and with urgency, if they've got any brains, and most people haven't these days, than you coming to that place where it's fair and just to walk away. If you have to walk away, that's superpower. If you can do it, not many people can do it. They'll run the thing to the very end until everyone's confused and everyone's worn out and nobody wants to be with each other anyway. If you've got the point and you've put it there and they're just foul-assing around with it, and you walk away and you clearly state what the problem was and they don't want to fight for it, or fix it, that's on them. Guys, use your superpower. Don't pedestalize these women. Be fair. Be fair to yourself and be fair to them. And walk away. This is One Theologist on the ProBrick exclusive YouTube channel. Bye for now.